You're wanting to buy a supercar for the first time. As a first-time supercar owner myself, I am going to be covering the things that people don't really tell you about. The good and the bad. From finance, insurance, road tax, servicing to modifications, I am going to be sharing the things that I have learned owning my first supercar. Make sure you stick all the way to the end to find out what my personal opinion is on what it's really like owning a supercar. We're going to go straight in. So the first thing is the finance, affording the deposit and the monthly payments for the car. If you can obviously afford the car to pay it right off in cash, then this is something that you can just skip through. But for most people wanting to own a supercar, it is typically financed. And to be able to get a finance, you must have the sufficient funds for the deposit and to be able to afford the monthly repayments on the car. Finance deposit usually range 10% of the final value of the car. Can be sometimes higher, can be sometimes a little lower. So for a 50 grand car, you are going to need at least £5,000 deposit for the finance. Which then takes us to the next thing, which is the monthly repayments for the car. Depending on the amount of the deposit that you put in, will depend on how much your monthly repayments will be. The bigger your deposit is, the lower your monthly repayments will be. The length of your finance as well can affect how much your monthly repayments will be. There is typically a sweet spot for it. Too long of a loan can cause your monthly refinance to go up. Too short of a loan can also affect how much your monthly repayments will be. There is typically a sweet spot. 4 years usually is the typical sweet spot for a car finance, 3 to 4 years. In 2024, the typical finance rates ranges from 7% up to 12%. Make sure you check your finance rates before agreeing to the finance. Lenders should give you a breakdown of what your finance is going to look like before you commit to it. Do not commit to it blind. And what people don't know is the dealers usually aren't your lenders. They're usually brokers. They will find you a lender, a couple of lenders who will give you the best offer. Which means you can also find yourself a lender before you commit to the car. And on top of that, a lot of people don't usually know this, you actually have 14 days cooling off period, they call it, which means within that 14 days, if you're not comfortable with the finance, you can actually retract everything. You can cancel everything. The lending company should give you a refund. You obviously have to give the car back as well. Woo! We're only getting started. Next is the insurance. Insurance again is very, very odd. So if you have a supercar in mind, before you commit to it, make sure you do research in how much an insurance will cost you. Insurance changes from one person to the other. It is, I guess, catered for you, catered to your situation. Insurance can depend on your age, how long you've been driving, have you had any previous convictions, the area you live in, where you keep the car during the day and night, and how many miles you're planning to put in the car. So make sure you put all of these factors in when you're looking for insurance. Next is the road tax. So road tax is, I guess, quite specific to the UK. I'm not actually sure if any other countries pay road tax or some sort. I'm not too sure, but in the UK, you have to pay road tax. So don't get caught out with that. Or should I say, don't forget about it. Currently, supercars or cars with a big engine, the typical road tax cost is about £600 to £800 a year. Road tax is a fixed price and it depends on your car's CO2 emissions. So the higher your car's CO2 emission is, the higher your road tax will be. The next thing is servicing and maintenance. I usually put away around £700 a year for maintenance and servicing of the Audi R8. Obviously, the more known the brand is, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, the higher your servicing cost will be. Calculated your monthly finance, your insurance, your road tax, and then you also get slapped with the servicing costs.
Whoa!
So make sure before you buy the supercar of your dreams that you do your research on what the servicing cost is going to be, how often. Obviously it's minor servicing is going to be every year, what other servicing intervals there is, and have a ballpark figure of how much they're going to be. And also if you are able to take it to a brand specialist rather than taking it back to a dealer. As you probably already know, dealers will usually charge higher for servicing than a brand specialist would be. Also, very important, servicing has to be on time every year. It is really important to service your car every year on time, as this can affect the value of the car when it comes to the time where you have to resell the car, and also if you don't service your car it can void warranty. Another thing that doesn't get mentioned quite a lot is the modifications. So if you like tinkering with cars, you might want to cover your ears. I always say think before you modify. You do not want to be drilling on a supercar just like that. Do not want to be drilling and sticking TMU parts on your car. A lot of modifications can drop the value of the car. Not all modifications will, but a lot of them will to some extent. Exhaust, yes. Wheels, yes. Other modifications, no. Another thing that a lot of people don't really talk about when you own your first supercar is the constant worry. As much as I love taking the car out for a drive, the smiles and the interactions you get from people, but you can't overlook the constant worry that's always in the back of your head. You're worried about crashing the car. You're worried about someone else crashing into the car. You're worried about people vandalizing your car. Worried about the car being stolen. Worried about the humps. Worried about where you're gonna park the car.
Je me disais ça va passer. Tout juste, mais c'est passé. J'aurais pu pas passer.
You are always on the edge. However, it isn't all that bad. The good things that people don't tell you about, people that owns a supercar can attest to this, is that getting a supercar allows you to meet people that you don't normally interact with. You meet like-minded people. You talk about cars more, you make more friends, you meet people in business that could open opportunities for you. I can definitely attest to this. Having a supercar makes you think more positively. You get in the car, you hear the engine, you smell the leather, and it instantly boosts your mood. It makes you feel good. You get in the car and you just don't give a f. It motivates you to work harder. Definitely motivated me. Once you've got the car, you definitely do not want to go backwards. It pushes you to step out of your comfort zone. It makes you want to go for more. And the happiness you get when you see kids' faces when they see a supercar. It inspires kids, it inspires people. It reminds me back when I was a kid, getting excited when I see a supercar. And on that note, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please help your brother out. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and drop a comment. What is your dream supercar? And I shall see you on the next one.